Hey everybody, it's Eric Wagoner, Executive Director of the West Virginia Humanities Council. I'm checking in today to thank everybody who's been watching and listening and commenting on and engaging with and responding to our online series, Poetry During a Time of Crisis, West Virginia Writers on Community, Resilience, and the Power of the Arts. It's been a great series to be a part of. We have been so appreciative of all the fantastic West Virginia poets who have contributed to it, filmed themselves reading their own work in their own homes or personal spaces, and allowing us to share those poems with viewers across the state, really across the country and around the world, and that's kind of why I'm checking in today. We had originally planned to finish up the series last week, but a couple of weeks ago we got an email from a woman named Julia Huffman, who's an award-winning filmmaker, producer, and educator, currently living in California, but originally from Pocahontas County, West Virginia. She asked if we would be open to her filming a short response, kind of her own reaction to the series, what it caused her to think and to feel, and speaking for herself and maybe for others who have been following along. And we said, sure, great idea, we'd love to see it. Somebody engaging with a piece of history or literature or film or music or some aspect of culture, whatever it may be, taking it, internalizing it, and then responding to it, being moved to create something that speaks back to it. I can't think of an objective description of the humanities that would better illustrate what the humanities are all about than just that act of communication and response. We're very grateful to all the poets who have contributed to this series, and we're very grateful to Ms. Huffman for sending along her coda, a sort of response video, to our series Poetry During a Time of Crisis, West Virginia Writers on Community, Resilience, and the Power of the Arts. Stay safe, stay connected. We're thinking of you all. Take care.
My name is Julia Huffman, and I am a filmmaker and an educator living in Los Angeles, California. However, I grew up in Pocahontas County, West Virginia. I wanted to thank you to the West Virginia Humanities Council for their beautiful series, Poetry During a Time of Crisis. It's really moved me and lifted me during this time of such uncertainty. And around this time of year, I try to go home and visit my mom and my friends, and I haven't been able to do that. And I haven't been able to travel, just like all of us can't travel. And so there's been some emptiness and some longing. And I've, just found myself going to listen to the different poets and listen to their beautiful words, and it's made me feel connected and a sense of community. I felt sad and happiness, and it just reminds me how our art reflects the human condition. Two poems stand out in particular that I want to mention, but I loved all of them. Keegan Lester's When Anthony Bourdain Came to Town was very moving for me. And he says, I wish I'd had a chance to invite Anthony Bourdain when he came to town, to eat with my friends and me, to dance in our living room with us, for a few moments, to be nowhere else but here. And Renee Nicholson's gorgeous poem about the frontline workers, and a line that stood out for me was, gentle eyes raised to you in lieu of human touch. And so, like I mentioned, I am a filmmaker. I am not a poet, but I guess I am an aspiring poet, and I felt very moved myself by listening to all these gorgeous poems to write something myself, and I wanted to share it with you. And it's called I Dream of West Virginia. I dream of West Virginia, toes slipping into rivers, watching crayfish scurry by, looking back and winking at me. I dream of the land and the tall, tall grass, blowing breezes, thistle seeds gracing the air like mini fairies. I dream of the way the air fills at dusk, kissing your skin and hugging your legs like a blanket of forever. I dream of smooth river rocks under my feet, warm along the creek bed, clay peeking out from the earth. Our arms call to me, those mountain ranges of knowing, witnessing, and standing tall. I dream of laying in the soft fields, toes and belly pointed to the sky, knowing I am home.